श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्.
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. With the blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we have completed 6 weeks of Vande GurorMandalam, the lecture series on all the Shankara Bhagavad Stotras. After completing Ganesha Bhujangam, Guru Ashtakam and a few Shiva Stotras including Shivananda Lahari, a few Devi Stotras including Saundarya Lahari, we have now started with some of the Stotras on Vishnu, and we are now on Vishnu Bhujanga Prayata Stotram. Now, Bhujanga Prayata is a meter which we have familiarized ourselves earlier when we started with Ganesha Bhujangam. The same meter is applied to this Stotra also, like Subramanya Bhujangam, Ganesha Bhujangam, Devi Bhujangam. These are the Bhujangam series of Stotras composed by Adi Shankara. Now let us start with Shloka number 1.
Namaskaram. Chidamsham vibhum nirmalam nirvikalpam niriham nirakaram omkaragamyam gunatitam avyaktamekam turiyam param brahmayam veda tasmai namaste.
Now this Shloka refers to the Parabrahma, the description of Parabrahma. This and the next Shloka, both of them refer to description of Parabrahma. Then we go to description of Vishnu in the subsequent Shlokas. Idam sham vibham nirmalam nirvikalpam. See, Parabrahman is, as we know, is only a concept. There is no rupa, there is no nama, there is no quality. This is all beyond all these trappings of rupa, nama, quality, etc. These trappings are only for jivas. Parabrahman is beyond these trappings. So, Chidam Sham, he is only described as Sati Chiti Anandam, Sachidanandam, existence, consciousness, and bliss. This is the most approximate description for Parabrahma, which is constantly used in Upanishad. So, Chidam Sham, this is, Chit is a Shakti, consciousness is a power, which is there everywhere, all over the creation. Now, this significant part, a solidified part of the Chit is in the form of Mahavishnu. When Parabrahman takes the form of a certain deity, a certain Bhagavan, then that is Chit Amsham. So this is references to Bhagavan, but the description is overall for Parabrahman. Chidamsham, or you can also interpret it as he is referring to the Chiti, which is the Amsham of Sati, Chiti and Anandam, which is a part of the overall concept of Sati, Chiti and Anandam. Vibhum means all pervading, present everywhere, and Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful. Nirmalam, very pure, without any blemish. Nirvikalpam, Vikalpam is the mental mode of trying to choose between different alternatives. That is what we keep on doing every time. Even little things, there are many ways to do it, and we choose one way. This is a constant operation of the mind. So when mind itself is not there, when mental operations are not there, so the question of vikalpa doesn't arise. Because when the mind is quiet, when there is no mind, when everything is quiet, shantam, when everything is shanta, then there is no question of mind. Mano Nasha is the ultimate state of the Jnani. He has no mind. Mind has been destroyed for him. Vasanas have been destroyed for him. Vasana Nasha, Mano Nasha. These are the steps before attainment of the supreme jnana. So, in that state, there is no vikalpa, there is no alternative thought process. Niriham, nirakaram, okaragamyam, niriham. That is free from attempt to gain a desired object. Iham is the attempt to gain a desired object. That means there is a desire and there is a constant attempt to gain that object. This is common with devas. But since Paramatma has no such desire, he is self-fulfilled, Atmatripta. So since he is Atmatripta, Atma Rama, so there is nothing more to be desired for, so there is no question of attempt. Niriham, Nirakaram, he is free from any shape or form. There is no form for him because he is the form of Sati, Chiti and Ananda, which are only powers. Omkara Gamyam, he can be reached through Omkara. Om is the foundational basis of all Vedas. You start Veda with Om, you end also with Om. So even in normal Veda chanting, you say Hari Om and then you start and you end with Hari Om. So Omkara is the basis for all the Vedas, and through this Omkara you can reach Parabrahman. Because we have seen this before, the significance of Omkara, how A, U, Ma, the three letters signify the states corresponding to created beings, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, etc. etc. So, when you are beyond the created being, when you are above and beyond, then you are in the Ardhamatra state, the fourth, the Turiya state. So that is Omkara Gamyam. That is why actually sannyasis keep chanting Omkara. Just as Grihasthas are advised to chant Gayatri, sannyasis are advised to chant constantly Omkara mantra, because they are jnanis and their only purpose is to get beyond all these trappings of samsara and go back to Parameshwara. Nirakaram Omkara Gamyam Gunatitam Avyaktam Ekam Turiyam Gunatitam. Beyond the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, because all the creation is with these three gunas, with these three attributes, these three qualities. And since Parabrahman is beyond these qualities, the state of Gunatita, this has been praised very much in Bhagavad Gita. A separate chapter has been devoted to the praise of Gunatita state. Avyaktam ekam turiyam. Avyaktam. Avyaktam means something which is beyond expression through words or through any other means. That is avyaktam. Vyaktam is something which can be expressed. Something which is explicit is called vyaktam. Something which is not explicit is avyaktam. That is the basic meaning, but avyaktam is also a term technically used to the process of creation of this universe. When the process of creation of the universe is started, it starts with the first starting point is avyakta. Then further mahat, etc., mahat, ahankara, etc. follows. But first is avyakta. That is the next stage after maya. From maya comes avyakta. So that means the whole process of creation is in you as a dormant power. Avyaktam ekam turiyam. Ekam, you are unique, you are singular. There is only one like you. Parabrahman, there is only one unique. Turiyam, the fourth state, beyond the three states of Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, etc. The fourth state, we have seen it on many occasions. Param Brahma Yam Veda Tasmai Namaste. These are the approximate descriptions of Parabrahma. And this is how Parabrahma is known to us. So those knowers of Parabrahma have told us about this description. Param Brahma Yam Veda. Those who have known Parabrahman have told us like this. Tasmai Namaste. To that Parabrahman, this prostration. So, a part of the overall consciousness, or the consciousness which is a part of overall Satchidananda Swarupa, all pervading, all powerful, pure without any blemish, free from thought processes, free from attempts to gain an object, free from form, attainable through Omkara, beyond the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and beyond all expression, and singular, unique, and the fourth, beyond this, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti state. That is Parabrahma. Knowers of Parabrahma have given this description to that Parabrahma, this prostration. Chidam Sham Vibham Nirmalam Nirvikalpam Niriham Nirakaram Omkara Gamyam Gunatitam Avyaktam Ekanturiyam Param Brahma Yam Veda Tasmai Namaste.
विशुद्धं शिवं शान्तमाद्यन्तशून्यं जगज्जीवनं ज्योतिरानन्दरूपम् अदिग्देशकालव्यवच्छेदनीयं त्रयीभक्तियं वेद तस्मै नमस्ते.
The description of Parabrahman continues. Vishuddham, absolutely pure. It means the same as Nirmalam. Nirmalam meant free from blemish. Here it says, if purity has to be defined, it can be defined as Parabrahman. That is absolutely pure. Shivam, absolutely auspicious. All auspiciousness, if you want to consider in one place, that is Parabrahman. Abode of auspiciousness. Shantam, this is the ultimate state of peace. This is the ultimate state of peace, free from all agitation, because agitations are connected with mental processes. And when mind itself has been destroyed, mental processes are not present. So all agitations are gone. So you are in completely state of quietude, complete state of quietude. Adyanta shunyam, free from beginning and end. Because there is a beginning, there has to be an end. Anything which begins has to end. There is a law of nature. So when there is no beginning, there is no end also. That is Parabrahman. That means not divisible in terms of time. Time is a creation of Parabrahman. Parabrahman is ever present. Jagadjivanam Jyotir Anandarupam. Jagadjivanam. He is the very life of all this universe. All this universe has been created by Parabrahman for giving the jivas an opportunity to redeem themselves. That is the purpose of creation. So once it has been created, naturally he takes the responsibility of protecting the jivas. That is jivanam. He is the very life of these jivas. Every living being has got a certain life force and lifespan. This life force is there for that particular lifespan of that particular jiva. So who is providing that life force during that lifespan? Who determines the lifespan and who provides the life force? That is Parabrahma. Jagadjivanam Jyotir Anandarupam Jyotihi. Because it's difficult to imagine Parabrahma because there is no form for him. It is a complete void. So you cannot imagine void as Parabrahma. That is not correct also. Shastras don't recommend it. So when you want to imagine Parabrahma mentally, because we are in this level of mind, we are not gone beyond mind. For us, what is recommended is to imagine Parabrahma as a Jyoti, as a pillar of light. Ananda Rupam. He is the very form of bliss. Just as we said, he is the very form of consciousness. He is the very form of bliss. All bliss, which all happiness, all delight, which give us experience, is a very, very tiny fraction of that Ananda, which is there in Parabrahma. All Ananda, that Parabrahma is the abode. Adigdeshakala vyavachhedaniyam. Digdesha, that is the areas in all the 10 directions. That means the entire space. Instead of saying space, he is saying Digdesha, the space in all the 10 directions. That is entire space. Kala is the time. Vyavachhedaniyam, that means divisible. Divisible by time, divisible by space. He is not divisible. Adigdesha kala vyavachhedaniyam. He is not divisible. He is not. It is not possible to separate him into time zones or space zones. He is beyond time and space. Trayevatiyam Veda Tasmai Namaste. This is what Vedas tell us. Trayi means Vedas. Rigveda, Sama. Vedas are known as Trayi. So this is a normal reference to Vedas in all Shastras. Trayi is the reference. So Vedas tell us whatever we have seen. This description comes from Vedas, and Veda also needs an interpretation, isn't it? Very difficult to interpret because there seem to be apparent contradictions even in Vedic passages. So Yam Veda. So those who know Veda, those who have understood the implication, they tell us. They tell us that this is what Veda has established. Tasmai Namaste, to that Parabrahman, this prostration, who is absolute form of purity, who is absolute form of auspiciousness, who is absolute form of peace, beyond the state of mind, with no beginning and end. He is the very life force of the entire universe, all creation, and he is to be imagined as a pillar of light, and he is the very form of bliss, and he is not separable, not divisible by space and time, space extending in all 10 directions and time. This is what the three Vedas tell us, and this is what knowers of Veda have told us. To that Parabrahman, this prostration. Vishuddham Shivam Shantam Shunyam Jagadjivanam Jyotiranandarupam Adigdeshakala Vyavachhedaniyam Trayivaktiyam Veda Tasmai Namaste.
महायोगपीठे परिभ्राजमाने धरण्यादितत्त्वात्मके शक्तियुक्ते गुणाहस्करे वह्नि बिम्बार्धमध्ये समासीनमोङ्कर्णिकेष्टाक्षराब्जे.
Now, this Parabrahman, which has been described as something beyond the scope of mind, as a very high level concept. Now, the next level concept, when he has to be imagined as a Shakti, as a power present in our body. How to imagine Parabrahman as present in our body? That is the subject taken up here. That is the next level. Mahayoga Pithe Paribhrajamane. The Veda tells us how Parabrahman has to be imagined in the heart. So in the heart, there is a Yoga Pitha, Maha Yoga Pitha. He is sitting there. Now this is a seat for him. Maha Yoga Pitha is the seat for him. Why it is called Yoga Pitha? Because he is always merged in Parabrahman. He is Parabrahman himself, and he has taken the form of Jyotis, because that is what he is going to tell us now. He has taken the form of Jyotis in order to light up our body, in order to give life and light to our body. He has taken the form of Jyotis, and he is present in the form of Jyotis in the heart. And there, the Jyotis is seated on a Yoga Pitha. Now, what does it mean? It means Jyotis is Parabrahman, and Yoga is the state of merging with Parabrahman. Now, that Jyotis has merged itself with Parabrahman. That is why it's called Mahayoga Pithe. Paribhrajamane, extremely radiant. Dharanyadi Tattvatmake Shakti Yukte. Dharanyadi Tattvatmake. It is in the form of principles like earth, etc. The Panchabhutas, earth, water, air, etc. Now these five elements are the first level of creation after Avyakta, Mahat, Ahankara, etc. First Pancha Tanmatras, Shabda, Sparsha, Ropa, Rasa, Gandha are created. After that immediately Pancha Bhutas are created. So when these are created, that is the solid base of creation, the Dharani, etc., Bhumi, etc. So he says, after having created all these Pancha Bhutas, Bhagavan enters them. It is not as if he has created and left them alone. He enters them. He is present in every nook and corner of this creation. So that is why Tattva Atmake, you are in that form. It is not as if you have created something. We can create a piece of paper. We are not that piece of paper. We are not entered into that piece of paper. Whereas Bhagavan creates all the five elements and he is in the form of all those five. He has entered those five elements. Dharanyaditattvatmake Shakti Yukte, he is associated, he is possessed of all Shaktis, all powers. The main Shakti is Maya Shakti. Because of Maya Shakti only, he is able to create this illusory world, illusory universe. गुणाहस्करे वह्निबिम्बार्धमध्ये समासेनम् ॐ कर्णिके अष्टाक्षराब्जे Guna Ahaskare. Ahaskara is Divatara, that is Surya, one who creates the daytime. In terms of gunas, he is like a sun. That means what? He is brilliant when it comes to qualities. His qualities are shining like sun. What qualities? He is not supposed to have any qualities. Beyond qualities, we have seen. Gunatitam, we have seen. But when he takes the next level, Bhagavan form, his main quality is compassion. And compassion is the most loved sattvic quality. So that is why he is saying Gunahastare. That compassion shines like sun. Vanni bimbardha madhye samasenam. Samasenam means he is seated in an orb of Agni. Vanni is Agni. An orb of Jyotis. An orb of Agni. In the center of that orb, Bimba Ardha Madhye, in the central half of that Vanni Bimba, Agni Bimba, he is seated. There is a lotus there, Ashtak Sharabje, a lotus of 8 letters. The 8-lettered mantra of Narayana, Om Namo Narayanaya, that is in the form of lotus. Just as we have seen lotuses in the Kundalini Yoga, 6 lotuses, and then the 7th lotus, Sahasrara, etc. Similarly, here also, the concept of lotus is there. In fact, the lotus is hanging upside down. That is what Veda says in the heart. That lotus is of the form of 8 letters of Narayana, and that lotus has got a karnika. Karnika means the stem. The stem of the lotus. What is that stem? Om. Omkara is the stem. That means what? Bhagavan has his existence based on Omkara only. That's what we said, Omkara Gamyam. So that is again proved. He is seated on Omkara. Omkara is the stem supporting this lotus. Lotus is Ashtakshara, where he is seated. And on that lotus there is a Vanni Bimba, Agni Bimba, and in the center of that Agni Bimba there is a Jyotis. This is mentioned in great detail in Narayana Suktam. Panchakocha pratikashagam hridayancha adhomukham. Adhomukham, it is an inverted state in the heart. Jalamala kulam bhati vishwasyayatanam mahati. Jalamala, it is a great radiance, great radiance. Tirya gordhamadashayi rashmayastasya santataha. His rays coming from the great radiance are going in all directions. Tasya madhye vannishikha aniyordhva vyavasthitaha. Like we said, Vanni Bimbardha madhye, there also it says, Tasya madhye, in the center of that, aniyordhva, very subtle, like an atom, there is a Vannishikha, the jwala of Agni. Neelato yadamadhyastha vidyullekhe bhasvara. It is radiant like lightning against the background of dark clouds. That is how it looks. Nevara shokavatanvi pitabhasvat tanupama tasya shikhaya madhye parama atma vyavastitaha. Tasya shikhaya madhye. In the center of that Agni Shikha, Paramatma is seated. Sabrahma Sashivastendra Saharisendra Sokshara Paramaswarat. He is Hari, he is Shiva, he is Brahma, he is Akshara Purusha. He is Parama. He is Swarat. Swarat means he is a king on his own. He is not subservient to anyone else. In fact, all jnanis are Swarats only. They are not subservient to anyone else. So, he is seated on what is called Maha Yoga Pitha, very radiant. When he creates the five elements like Bhumi, etc., he enters them. He is in the form of those elements. And he has all powers, including Maya. In terms of gunas, qualities, he is like sun, and he is seated in the heart on a 8-lettered lotus, supported by a stem of Omkara, and he is seated on the lotus. He is seated in the center half of Vande Bimba, Agni Bimba. महायोगपीठे परिभ्राजमाने धरण्यादितत्त्वात्मके शक्तियुक्ते गुणाहस्करे वह्निबिम्बार्धमध्ये समासेन मोङ्कर्णिकेष्टाक्षराब्जे
समानोदितानेकसूर्येन्दुकोटिप्रभापूरतुल्यद्युतिं दुर्निरीक्षं न शीतं न चोष्णं सुवर्णावदात प्रसन्नं सदानन्दसंवित्स्वरूपम्.
Now this Jyotis is being described, whatever we call as Jyotis in the heart. Samanodita aneka suryendu koti prabhapura tulya dyutim. That radiance of that Jyoti is comparable to Tulya, is comparable to crores of Suryas and crores of Chandras simultaneously shining. Amane Udita. Simultaneously they have risen in the sky. Crores of Surya, so much of brilliance. Crores of Chandra, so much of coolness. Because if there is crore of sun, there will be extreme heat. You cannot stand that heat. But heat is not there. Durniriksham, so much of brilliance you cannot see with your eyes, so can't be seen with eyes. You need special eyes for that, like Arjuna had while seeing Krishna's Vishwarupa in Bhagavad Gita. Nashitam nachoshnam. So when he says so many crores of suns, so many crores of moons, don't imagine it is hot or it is cold. It is neither hot nor cold. Nashitam nachoshnam. Suvarna avadata prasannam. Suvarna avadata. Suvarna means golden. Avadata means clear, pure. It is pure gold, no blemish. Gold with no blemish. Prasannam. He is happily present in that Jyotis in the form of a pure golden flame. Sadananda samvit swarupam. This is Satchidananda. Sat Ananda samvit means Chit, same jnana. So he is in the form of Sat Chit Ananda. Though he is appearing like light to the yogis. Yogis can see this light in their hearts. So he is having radiance comparable to crores of suns and crores of moons rising at the same time, and it cannot be seen with bare, normal flesh eyes. And there is no cold, there is no heat, and he is of the form of pure gold, very happily present in that form, and he is of the form of Sati, Chitu, and Ananda. Samanodita aneka suryendu koti prabhapuratulyadhyutim durniriksham nashitam nachoshnam suvarnavadata prasannam sadananda samvitsvarupam.
सुनासापुटं सुन्दरभ्रूललाटं किरीटोचिताकुञ्चितस्निग्धकेशं स्फुरत्पुण्डरीकाभिरामायताक्षं समुत्फुल्लरत्नप्रसूनावतंसम्.
Now, from the Jyotis, we have come to the form of Mahavishnu. See the descension, the order of descension. First the Parabrahma level, then the Jyotis level in the heart, then Mahavishnu, the form of Mahavishnu. Bhagavan is the next level, that is Mahavishnu. So Nasa Putam, he has got a beautiful nose. Sundara Brulalatam, he has got a beautiful eyebrow and a beautiful forehead. Kirito Chita Kunchita Snigdha Kesham, then the Kesha. The hair on his head is being described as oily, snigdha, smooth, oily, and it is curly, curved, curly, kunchita. Kirita uchita akunchita. Akunchita means curved, curly. It is curly without disturbing the kirita, the crown. The crown is seated on that hair, and beyond that crown, you see the curly hair below, and there is no disturbance. That means what? It goes together. It's beautiful. In short, the kirita and the curly hair go together very nicely. Surat Pundari Kadhirama Yataksham. Then the eyes, Ayataksham, very long eyes, like Pundarika, like a lotus. Lotus like long eyes. Abhirama, one who sees those eyes will never take his eyes off those eyes. That's so enchanting. Abhirama. Surat, it is shining, very shining eyes. Samutphullaratna prasuna avatamsam. Avatamsam is the crown on the head. That crown is gem-studded, ratna, and also samutphulla prasuna. Prasuna are flowers. Samutphulla, fully blossomed flowers, a garland of those flowers, they are tied around that crown. This is a common ornamentation you will find for devatas and things also. Samutphullaratna prasunaavatamsam. So beautiful nose, beautiful eyebrow, beautiful forehead, very smooth hair, slightly curly, visible beyond the crown and suited to the crown, and long eyes like lotus, very enchanting eyes, very radiant eyes, and there is a kirita, there is a crown on the head, which is gem-studded, golden gem-studded, and it has flowers on the top, fully blossomed flowers. Sunasa putam sundara bhrulalatam kiritochita kunchita snigdha kesham purat pundarika viramayataksham samutphullaratna prasonavatamsam.
लसत्कुण्डलामृष्टगण्डस्थलान्तं जपारागचोराधरं चारुहासम् अलिव्याकुलामोदिमन्दारमालं महोरस्फुरत्कौस्तुभोदारहारम्.
The description of Mahavishnu's form continues. Now the next item is kundalas, the earrings. The earrings of Mahavishnu are known as Makara Kundalas. Makara is a fish, large fish like a whale. So this is a very common description. Makara Kundala is a very favorite Kundala for Devatas. Many other Devatas also sport Makara Kundalas. Rasat Kundala Mrushta Gandasthalantam. The Kundalas are shining and they are rubbing against the cheek area. Amrishta means rubbing against. And Amrishta Gandasthala. Gandasthala is the cheek area. It is rubbing against the cheeks. Japa, Japara, Gachora, Dharancha, Ruhasam, Adharam. The lips are like they have robbed Chora, robbed Japa flower, robbed the Japa flower of the redness. That means what? Japa flower is no match to the lips in terms of redness. Japa raga is redness. Japa raga chora dharan charuhasam. Charuhasam. Very enchanting smile, beautiful smile. Alivyakula modi mandara malam. He is having a garland of mandara flowers. Mandara is one of the 5 celestial trees, Kalpaka, Harichandana, Parijata, Mandara, and one more. Now, these Mandara flowers are constantly associated with many deities, very coveted flowers. So, he is wearing the garland of Mandara flowers, which are Alivya Kula Amodi. Amodi means fragrant, very fragrant. Amoda is fragrant. How much fragrant? Alivya Kula, full of bees, full of honey bees. Ali means honey bee. Vyakula means filled with honey bees. The honey bees cannot take themselves away from this garland because it's so fragrant. Mahoras Purat Kaustubhodaraharam. Maha Uras. Uras is the chest, broad chest. That is the description always associated with warriors. Great warriors are supposed to have powerful bhujas and broad chest. These are all signs of great warriors. So since Mahavishnu is associated with being a great warrior, he goes and fights so many asuras in so many battles. So this is an appropriate description for him. Mahoras, wide chest, great chest. Furat Kaustubha Udaraharam. Furat Kaustubha, there is a Kaustubha gem which is shining on his chest. This Kaustubha gem was taken from the milk ocean during Samudra Manthanam. Samudra Manthanam, very valuable objects, including Mahalakshmi, came. So Devas took certain objects for themselves like Airavata, etc., Kamadhenu, etc. And certain objects were given to others, and Mahalakshmi and Kaustubha were given to Mahavishnu. Purat Kaustubha Udaraharam. Udara means large, heavy. That is, if you see Tirupati Swami, you find a special garland is there on outside all the other garlands. A very heavy, beautiful garland. That is what he is mentioning here. Udaraharam. Very heavy, very beautiful garland. Shining Makara Kundalas or rubbing against the beautiful cheek, and his adharas have robbed japa flower of their redness, and he sports beautiful, gentle smile, and he wears the mandara garland, very fragrant, such that it is filled with honeybees. He sports a wide chest on which this Kaustubhamani shines, and he also on the chest there is a Udaraharam, beautiful large garland. Lasat Kundala Amrishtaganda Sthalantam Japaraga Chora Dharancharuhasam Alivyakula Modi Mandaramalam Mahoras Purat Kaustubhodaraharam.
सुरत्नाङ्गदैरन्वितं बाहुदण्डैश्चतुर्भिश्चलत्कङ्कणालङ्कृताग्रैः उदारोदरालङ्कृतं पीतवस्त्रं पदद्वन्द्विनिर्धूतपद्माभिरामम्.
The description of the form continues, Mahavishnu's form, particularly the ornaments which he is wearing. Suratna Angadaihi Anvitam Bahudandaihi Chaturbhihi Bahudandaihi. 4 arms. Bahu means arms. Arms are like staff, but that means what? Long and powerful. Danda. That is why it is referred to as Bahudanda. Even in Subramanya Bhujangam, you find this reference of Bahudanda. So, this is a sign of great warrior, like the Mahoras, wide chest. Bahus are like Danda. Arms he is having, which are decorated with Suratna Angadaihi. Angada is the bracelet which is worn on the shoulder. That is called Angada. The top of the arm. near the shoulder. That is Angada, a kind of a bracelet. Suratna Angada, gem-studded Angada, Angadehi, plural. That means he is wearing more than one. Not just one on each arm, because he has got 4 arms. That also qualifies to be called as plural. Suratnangadairanvitam bahudandais chaturbhihi chalatkankana alankrita agraihi. Then the hands, the upper part of the arms sport these angadas, the lower part of the hands sport kankanas, chalatkankanas. They keep moving. When he moves his hands, the kankanas are moving, the bracelets. Alankrita agraihi, the hands are agrahim in the front part of the arm, that is the hand, is decorated with kankanas. Udarodaram, udarodara alankritam. All ornaments are not described, so he has put a general description. Udara alankritam. Very beautiful. Beautiful among most beautiful. If you consider certain ornaments as beautiful, when you segregate them and keep, and you choose one of them, that is the beautiful among the beautiful. That is Udara. Alankritam. He has been decorated with those most beautiful ornaments, like anklet in the leg, like a waistband in the waist, like golden necklaces, pearl necklaces, etc. So many things like that. Udara alankritam pitavastram, yellow silk, pitavastram, pitavastram, both mean the same. Padadvandva nirdhuta padmadhiramam. Padadvandva nirdhuta padma. The 2 feet go and defeat lotus. Nirdhuta means ridiculed. Lotuses are ridiculed by the 2 feet. So beautiful, like lotus. Abhiramam, very enchanting feet. So the 4 bahudandas, the 4 arms like staves, are decorated with beautiful gem-studded angadas, and the 4 hands are decorated with beautiful kankanas, again golden gem-studded kankanas. Then there are other ornaments on the palm which are extremely beautiful, and there is the yellow silk on his palm, upper garment as well as the lower garment, that is Pitavastram. Then you have the 2 feet which are ridiculing lotus in its beauty, very enchanting. Suratnangadairanvitam bahudandais chaturbhischalat kankanalankritagraihi udarodara pitavastram padadvandva nirdhuta padmabhiramam.
स्वभक्तेषु सन्दर्शिताकारमेवं सदा भावयन् सन्निरुद्धेन्द्रियाश्वः दुरापं नरो याति संसारपारं परस्मै परेभ्योऽपि तस्मै नमस्ते.
Now the description of this the description of the form is over. Now he is talking about the devotees. Prabhakteshu sandarshita akaram evam akaram. This kind of form which I have described now, he is showing to his devotees. Prabhakteshu sandarshita sada bhavayan. This form which has been shown to his devotees by out of compassion, you should constantly meditate on that form. Sada bhavayan. Samruddha, Sanniruddha, okay, Sanniruddha, Indriya Ashwaha. Indriya Ashwaha. The Indriyas are likened to horses. The sense organs are likened to horses. He says, you control those horses. Having controlled those horses and always meditating on Bhagavan. That is how he starts. This is what you should do, he says. This comparing Indriyas with horses comes from a very celebrated passage in Kathopanishad. Atmanam rathinam vidhi shariram rathamevatu buddhim tu sarathim viddhi mana pragrahamevacha. Atma is the rathi, the traveler in the chariot, and the chariot is the body. Body is the chariot in which Atma is traveling as the one who is seated in the chariot. And who is the charioteer who drives the chariot? That is Buddhi, the intellect. And the horses are the Indriyas. Indriyani hayanahuhu vishayanste sugocharan. So in this chariot, the horses are the Indriyas, the sense organs, and the mind is the connecting link between the Indriyas and the Buddhi. Mana pragrahame, which pragraha is the card which you use for controlling. The Sarathi holds the card, isn't it, in his hand for controlling the horses. That is pragraha, the means of controlling the horses. So intellect uses the mind for controlling the horses. That is, mind should not go here and there. Mind should control the horses, and mind should be controlled by the intellect. This is obvious to us because we know that sense organs go here and there wherever they like, and mind can control them. We have seen that. And if mind also goes here and there, it is the intellect which has to control the mind. What is intellect? The thought that this is a wrong thing, this is the right thing. The discrimination is the intellect, that faculty of discrimination. So that has to come into play immediately whenever the mind runs along with the indriyas. Indriyani hayanahuhu. Where do these horses go? What is the road on which they travel? Vishayan te sugocharan. The roads are the vishayas, the objects, sense objects. The senses are running quickly, fast after the objects that we know very well. You see something, your eyes don't want to take your eyes off that object. Your ear hears something, you don't want to take your ear off that music or whatever. Similarly, the nose, similarly, the sense of touch, similarly, the taste. All these five sense organs are so deeply attached to the objects. That is why he is saying, Vishayan Stetu Gocharan. Atmendriyamano yuktam bhokta ityahur manishinaha. Atma, Indriya, Manasu yuktam. If the three act in unison, Atma, Indriya and Manas, if they act in unison, why is it Atma? Because Atma is the final person who is in the chariot. You have to lead the Atma properly to the proper destination. Now, that leading person is intellect, the Sarathi. So, Atma, Indriya, Manas. Manas is putting, which includes the intellect. Manas is the one which is the troublemaker. Atma, Indriya. So, instead of making the trouble, if it cooperates, Atma, Indriya, Mano, then you are called Bhokta. Then you are called enjoyer. You have attained the fruit of taken this body. Bhagavan has given you this body for attaining him again, for aspiring for moksha. Now, if you keep the indriyas under control and if you keep the atma on the right track, then you have achieved your purpose. Then you are a bhokta. This is what Manishinas, that means wise people tell us. So, Indriya Ashwaha, the Indriya horse, has to be controlled. Sanniruddha Durapam Naro Yati Samsara Param. This kind of man who constantly meditates on this Bhagavan's form and who has controlled his Indriyas, he goes to the other side of the Samsara ocean, shore of the Samsara ocean, Samsara Param Yati. He attains, he reaches. Durapam, it is extremely difficult. It is impossible to go there. What is impossible has become possible for him because he has constantly meditated on Bhagavan. And more importantly, he has controlled his sense organs. So having done these two, Bhagavan also says in Gita, isn't it? Abhyasa and Vairagya. Vairagya is control of sense organs. Abhyasa is this constant meditation. These are put in so many different phrases, words, but thought is the same. You have to take your mind off the mundane objects and concentrate your mind on Bhagavan. This is the basic philosophy behind all this. So, Durapam Naro Yati Samsara Param Parasmai Parebhyo Pitasmai Namaste. Parebhyo api parasmai. Like we said, udara udara alankritam. Similar phrasing. That means you you call a group and you call them the supreme. The supreme has got, let us say, four supremes. The supreme group has got, let us say, four supremes. Out of four, you have to choose one. Most supreme. That is this Bhagavan Mahavishnu. Parasmai parebhyopi tasmai namaste. To that Bhagavan is this prostration. So, whatever form has been described in the above shlokas, if one meditates on this form, which Bhagavan has shown out of compassion, and if he controls his sense organs which are going astray, sense organ horses which are going astray, he attains the other side of samsara, crossing the ocean of samsara, which is extremely impossible for humans, and he is the most supreme. To that most supreme power is this namaskara. Svabhaktesu sandarshitaakaramevamं sada bhavayantan viruddhendriyashvaha durapam naro yati samsara param parasmai parebhyopi tasmai namaste.
श्रिया शातकुम्भद्युतिस्निग्धकान्त्या धरण्या च श्यामलाङ्ग्या कलत्रद्वयेनामुना तोषिताय त्रिलोकी गृहस्थाय विष्णो नमस्ते.
Now further description of Bhagavan. Shriya Shata Kumbha Jyotisnigdhakantya. He has got two consorts, two devis. The first is Mahalakshmi. Shri is Mahalakshmi. How is Mahalakshmi described? Shata Kumbha Jyoti. Gold, shining like gold. Gold freshly formed. That is Shata Kumbha. Not the old gold. Some 100 years back, my grandmother gave me this piece of ornament. Not that type of gold. Freshly minted gold. Shatakumbhadyuti snigdha kantya. Snigdha means very soft, very pleasing. It may be gold, but it has to be soft and pleasing. Gold should not be hard. Snigdha kantya. If you see gold in bar, they will be hard, they won't be soft. Snigdha kantya dharanya chadurva dadasyamalanja. Dharanya. Next is Bhudevi, Dharani Devi. She is dark green. Shamala is dark. Shamalanga with dark limbs. Durvadala, like the Durva grass, which is used in Ganesha worship. That is Durvadala. So, like that, dark green, because Bhumi should be associated with dark green color for fertility, isn't it? Unless Bhumi is fertile, we won't get our food. We won't get all our objects which we need for our daily life. Only if Bhumi is fertile. So fertility is indicated by green. So dark green he says. Kalatradvayena amuna toshitaye. Amuna kalatradvayena. These two which are mentioned as Sri and Dharani. By these two Kalatra, by these two wives, he is made ever happy. Toshitaya, ever satisfied. That means what? He has got two powers. It's not a question of two wives. It's a question of two powers. One is the Bhumi Devi power. Because without Bhumi Devi, how can we ever sustain ourselves? There's no question of sustaining any jiva. All jivas are, that's why she is called Dharani. Dharani means someone who supports, a supporter. That is Dharani. So she supports all the jivas, that is supporting power, and that support is not enough. You need other supports. You need so many desires are there in you. Apart from what you get from Bhumi. What you will get from Bhumi is the basic necessities, the food, the water, the dress, etc., the house, etc. All this comes from Bhumi. All objects, solid objects come from Bhumi. But there are objects which are experiences, not really solids. Those experiences have to be given, pleasant experiences. Those are given by Mahalakshmi. She gives you wealth. She gives you wealth. All types of wealth, including santati, child wealth, vidya, knowledge wealth, all kinds of wealth. So those are not associated with Bhudevi, those are associated with Mahalakshmi. So these are two Shaktis. So Bhagavan is happy to possess these Shakti so that he can bestow on the devotees with compassion in large measure. That is why. Triloki Grihasthaya Vishnu Namaste. That Vishnu who is having the three worlds as his Griha, as his abode. The three worlds or his abode. Triloki Grihastha. To him, this prostration. So he is being kept happy by two wives, and they are Sri and Dharani. Sri Mahalakshmi is shining like freshly minted gold and very soft, pleasing gold, and Bhudevi is shining with dark green limbs like Durvadala, and Vishnu, who is made happy by these two consorts, has his abode in all the three worlds. To that Vishnu, this prostration. श्रियाशातकुम्भद्युतिस्निग्धकान्त्या धरण्या च दूर्वादळश्यामलाङ्ग्या तळत्रद्वयेनामुना तोषिताय त्रिलोकीगृहस्थाय विष्णो नमस्ते.
शरीरं कलत्रं सुतं बन्धुवर्गं वयस्यं धनं सद्मभृत्यं भुवं च समस्तं परित्यज्य हा कष्टमेको गमिष्यामि दुःखेन दूरं किलाहम्.
Now he is talking about the state of the jiva when he has to leave this body at the time of death. What happens? What is the misery he is going to face at the time of death? Shariram kalatram sutam bandhuvargam vayasyam dhanam sadmabhrityam bhuvancha samastam parityajya. You have to leave everything behind. Samastam parityajya at the time of death. You cannot carry anything with you. You cannot carry your own body. You cannot carry your wife. She will not accompany you. Your son will not accompany you. Your relatives will not accompany you. Your friend, Vayasyam, your friend will not accompany you. Your wealth will not accompany you. Which you have earned with great effort, that will not accompany. All that has to be left behind. Your house, for which you have so much of liking, attachment, that also you cannot carry with you. You cannot carry any of your servants, Bhrityam. Bhuvam cha, even the piece of land to which you are so much attached. It could be a landed property, or it could be a land on which your house is situated, or it could be any other piece of land. Maybe the land in which your office is situated. Some people are so much wedded to their office. So, all these attachments have to be left behind. Samastam parityajya. Now, leaving behind what you have considered with so much of love, to which you have attached all your life, it's not easy. Ha kashtam eko, so much of difficulty, so much of misery. Ha kashtam eko gamishyami. Having left all this behind, I have to go all alone. That is even more worrying, even more miserable. Now, leaving all these things behind is one part of the misery. The second, more miserable part is that I have to go all alone, nothing with me. Eko gamishyami dukkhena duram kilaham. How long I have to go? Duram, very long distance. Is the journey comfortable? No, dukkhena. Journey is extremely miserable, very difficult journey, very long journey, and I have to go all alone, having left everything behind. What more description of misery can there be? Everything connected with death, he has brought in one shloka beautifully. Fear of death, misery of separation at death. That is the subject in the shloka, very beautifully brought. This duram is very important, that has been described very much in our Shastras. Several lakhs of kilometers distance this jiva has to travel from the day he dies to the day he appears in Yamaloka. It takes one full year for the jiva to travel. During that journey, there are several halting stations. The journey is very miserably tough. There are areas where heavy winds are there. There are areas where sun is burning like anything. There are areas where extremely cold, shivering cold. There are areas where the there's no road. The path is so tough, so hard, full of stones. Like this, there are areas where several wild animals are there to attack you. Such is the description of this path which you have to take during this 1 year. That is why our Shastras lay great emphasis on aparakarya. This is what I was mentioning in the morning lecture also. Aparakaryas is extremely important. When the person dies, his son or whoever is entitled to do the aparakarya, he should do it with great shraddha. Extremely important. The 12-day aparakarya plus the monthly aparakarya during the whole year, because it takes one full year for him to appear before Yamadharmaraja. Then Yamadharmaraja is going to decide the next course of action for him, whether he is going to Surga, whether he is going to Naraka, whether he is going to come back to earth in the form of human being or in the form of a bird, animal, worm, we don't know. That will be decided by Yamadharmaraja. Till that time, till the decision is taken, this travel of 1 year, at least that you can help the Jiva, isn't it? Afterwards, you may not be able to help. Afterwards, also, you can help by performing the annual Shraddha. To some extent, it helps. To a great extent, it helps. That's what Shastra says. Whichever body the new Jiva has taken, whichever new body the Jiva has taken, there also the offering which you give at the time of annual Shraddha reaches him, suitable to that form. If it is a bird, it will go in the form of a food for that bird, like that. For that, Pitru Devatas are there in Pitruloka. That is their job. Whoever performs Shraddha, whatever is offered, the Pitru Devata converts that in a form suitable for consumption by that particular Jiva. This assignment, this transfer, this bank transfer takes place through Pitru Devata. So much of technical arrangement Bhagavan has made for helping the Pitrus. And if you don't do your job, what can Bhagavan do? What can Pitru Devatas do? They can only curse. The next thing they can do is to become angry and curse. That is why you become childless. Your santati becomes very miserable because of all this. Because you have abandoned Shraddhas, you have abandoned Pitrakarya, you have abandoned Aparakarya. Now, present tendency is to start the Nitya Vidhi on 9th day. Extremely detestable habit. Even Vaidikas are not discouraging this habit, very unfortunate. They should come and tell the Grihastha, no, that is not correct. Many Grihasthas they think it's a normal thing. To start on 9th day is the normal thing. What is the urgency? Now, that is extremely wrong. In fact, it should start on the first day. When you return from the cremation yard from Smashana, as soon as you come home, you take bath, the house has been cleaned already. You start this process of establishing the two stones. Grihadwara Pashana, Nadidwara Pashana. The two stones. One in the house and one at the river. Now river is not there, so both stones are established at the house only. So that is very important, because that pinda, that odaka which you offer to those stones, goes directly to the jiva, and the jiva is extremely miserable during those 10 days. The journey has not started. Journey starts after the 10th day. At that time, the jiva is hovering around your house, and it is extremely hungry, extremely thirsty. That hunger and thirst can be offset only by you, by your offer of this pinda and odaka. So that is why it should be started immediately, right on day one. Even if it is, you look at Vaidikas, how they perform. They may not guide you properly, but when it comes to their own affairs, you go and see how they do their Pitrakarya. They will do it. I have seen one Vaidika doing this Nitya Vidhi at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night, midnight, after coming back from the crematory. That is correct. That is how the Shastra prescribes. You should not postpone it. So this is the severity, this is important, this is the seriousness of Aparakarya. Aparakaryas are extremely important. Godana is very important, because in this journey there is a Vaitarani river which you cross after 6 months. That river is extremely foul smelling, full of bones and blood and all that. That is how it has been described. And you will be dragged into that river, very miserable condition. Now if you give a Godanam here on the 12th day, in fact 2 Godanams are minimum prescribed, one on the first day, one on the 12th day. If you do that properly, the jiva will hold the tail of that cow and cross this Vaitaruni river in no time, very comfortably. So if every dana which you give on the 12th day has got a certain salutary effect on the jiva. So it is very important for that parakarya to be done properly. So he says, it is extremely difficult for me to leave behind my body, my wife, my son, my relatives, my friend, my wealth, my house, my servants, the land on which I am living. Everything I have to leave behind, and I have to go all alone for such a long distance. Very miserable journey. And please help me. The please help me is going to come in the next stage. शरीरं कळत्रं सुतं बन्धुवर्गं भयस्यं धनं सद्मभृत्यं भुवं च समस्तं परित्यज्य हा कष्टमेतो गमिष्यामि दुःखेन दूरं किलाहम्. We close for the day. We continue day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we have cancelled this lecture in the morning session as well as in the evening session because of some urgent work which I have. So day after tomorrow, that is on Saturday, Indian time, 6:30 p.m. IST, we meet again in this evening in this session. Any questions?
No questions, Mama.
No questions. So we close for the day. Wishing you all the best. Hoping to meet you again on Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. IST. Namah Parvati Pataye. हर हर महादेव श्री राजराजेश्वर्यै जय जय सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तनम गोविंदा गोविंदा.